of Everybody Hates Black Men. I'm your host, Edward Anderson. Shout out to Art, shout out to BGS. I want to talk about Jeff, the new guy on the block, guy that's making waves on social media right now. And we'll see if there's an Empire Strikes Back moment. But I want to have a conversation about him and kind of get real clear on what are my thoughts when it comes to him. I'm probably going to be doing play-by-plays on quite a few things he's done. I just got to, go through the stuff that I said I would do. So, you've got Nate's finished that up, which I got like 5 or 6 more of those people I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about like 3 of the ones he wanted, and then I may do another like 4 more, and then I'm done with that, because it's not like anybody's bringing anything new to the table there. I know Princilla is like one of the biggest ones, and then I want to do Marty's video where I'll cover a good amount of that, where he went on a panel and dudes are just basically doing a dick measuring contest, for a lack of a better term. They're basically dick measuring, and I can't stand when black men do that, where it's like I can't stand when black men do not. It's not like, okay, it's established that you're this, and this, but when it comes to like you ain't shown you get bitches, you ain't shown you got money, you ain't shown, like, some of y'all ain't even willing to show your face. But say what you want to about me, I am willing to show my face. What's up? Like, you niggas, a lot of you niggas look dirty as fuck, and y'all dirty minded as far as like how y'all like dirty macking and shit, and you niggas love talking about other men like you're better than other men. Oh, well, nigga, don't you talk about women? Nigga, I talk about the state of black culture. And I talk about black men a lot as far as a group. But niggas are always trying. So that's, I want to go through that, go on that and really deal with that. Because it's always like, yeah, you red pill niggas, you don't get bitches. Like, you don't do this, you don't do that. That's why I'm like, nigga, you niggas are less than nothing to me. Because the reality is, this is how you know black men don't run their own community. These niggas never have conversations about power. You notice that black men never want to have conversations about power. I've talked about black men don't like power. You notice that anything that has anything to do with that, they never want to talk about it individually, let alone as a group, because you can't individually command your community. That is a group effort. And the only time is you hear real community talk is when pro-blacks want to talk about how can they serve the community, not how to run the community, how to control and lead the community where it needs to be or correct it. It comes down to how to serve the community, aka how to raise these boys that you didn't father. And here's the thing. Notice that they never, and I'm talking about different groups of people now, like different groups of naysayers of what we talk about. They never want to talk about, they always, when they talk about serving, like helping the boys, they never talk about recruiting the boys to our cause. When you look at any group generally that helps any demographic, it's for a reason. It isn't just this philanthropy type shit. It is a reason. When somebody is apprenticing under somebody, they're getting free labor. The trade is free labor for how it works. Now, granted, it may not be great labor because they don't know what the fuck they're doing, but it's a reason. Even when it's your son, it's a legacy thing. If you want to pass that down, that information, knowledge of what you know, BGS talked about this on Arts Panel, which is why a lot of Hispanics can come in here pretty much ready when it comes to construction work, because they know the deal. They just got to get upskilled on what the code is. Because, you know, so, you know, these things are not, this is, like, people don't think about this. When a father is not present, it's not just about watching some kids. It's about transferring information, knowledge, skills. It's very obvious the women don't do it. You can tell the women don't do it about what these females can do now. These females don't know how to cook, don't know how to clean, they don't know how to keep house. And fuck doing it for the men, bitch. You can't do that for your own kids. You don't know how to do it efficiently. Which is, like, most of these bitches don't even know how to do their own hair, do their own nails. If they got to save money, they just know to beg a nigga for it and act like that's empowerment, or act like that's them, like, holding these niggas accountable. Bitches out here dead weight. Hell, a lot of these hoes don't even know how to clean their coochie. Remember when it was a thing when niggas used to, anyway, I ain't gonna go there. Like, straight up. Not understanding that all of that fucks up your ability to deal with other races of men. But we don't never have that conversation. But going back to the men, there's plenty of stuff you can talk about the men on. But the problem is, all the critiques that are had when it comes to black men is adjacent to how to serve the women. Basically, you give them service to get their compliance. That's not how women work. That's not how women work. Do the niggas, perfect example, guys. Anybody wants to challenge me on this? Do the niggas that get bitches, do the niggas that actually have kids, are these the niggas that serve, that are the most service-minded niggas? Of course not. Not even the women are going to tell that goddamn lie. And people can say what they want to say with Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson wasn't the first choice. Now, was he? Ciara would, if Future would have stopped cheating, Ciara would have never got with Russell Wilson. Ciara would have just dealt with the fact that she's with a nigga that's got multiple baby mamas and she's fourth up. She would have said she's the prime married wife. I'm the wife, y'all the baby mamas. That is what she chose. She knew that shit going in. I want you to really think about that. Future's 41 years old, still acting like a hood character, a hood saint. And you know what's funny? It's always funny how, and Future's a trick too, by the way. But Future always gets a pass when it comes to that shit. My point is, black men always, the reason why they like that we exist is because this gives us something to point to, so they can dirty mac on these hoes. But any nigga that talks shit about us, these niggas never have alternative solutions because they don't have solutions, because they not gonna do shit. I said it before, I'm gonna say it again. The one thing men can do that women cannot do as a group is build. Women don't build. Because who they're going to build for? Themselves? Yeah, that's happened in human history, right? That's the one advantage we have over them. And that advantage only really gets truly activated. Well, that's the main advantage we have over them. And that's the main leverage. And that advantage, because once you build, you can control who gets the benefit and who doesn't. A lot of this gender war thing is not like to the extent that it's really a rebellion, not a war. It's really men, you know, asserting themselves, not really us warring with the women. But all you really got to do is the few women that are not on the bullshit, and it is a few, you create a situation where women get the benefit, and we ain't even got to make it race-based. The women get the benefit, and they're going to benefit according to them doing what they're told. And I'm not even going to sugarcoat that shit. Them doing what they're told. And they can be banished too. And you make it that funky ass child support that they will otherwise get is not worth them being isolated from the collective of resources and the collective benefits, the collective brain. and you establish that other women are willing to take this deal. And you'll create a gravitational pull that'll pull the ones with common sense, especially now when the environment's changing. And then the other women, because now the other women are going to look stupid, because now it's going to be on them. It's going to be on them to demonstrate they can get other races of men to do what they need to do for them, which they can't, and we know they can't. Right? And then all this, I'm a hoe, I don't do shit, I don't give a fuck. Now it looks stupid because it's like you're actually poor, dumbass. You're poor. And that's what we need to get to. But see, that certain things require men to be able to politic with each other. And black men are petrified of doing that. Yes, there's pockets. I'm not fucking talking about that. Black men are petrified of doing that because black men fundamentally want it to be mama's house. And every last one of you niggas are bitch ass niggas. I just want to be very clear about that. All of y'all mama's house niggas, you all are bitch ass niggas, and it really needs to be established. I don't give a fuck if you get bitches or not. Because ultimately, that bitch ain't serving you, you serving that bitch. You just because you getting some pussy don't mean shit. Because when it really come down to it, when it come down to you being in front of a white man or a non-black man, the dynamics show up. Yeah, you may be able to fuck other niggas bitches, but when you get put into a certain situation where economics are involved, you niggas act like your pants have been pulled down. You niggas get all bashful. Is it every black man? No, but you know the niggas I'm talking about. These niggas get bashful. These niggas, their cheeks start getting red and shit, and they find an exit. Because they don't want to be there, because a lot of these niggas know they don't measure up. Especially when you're dealing with a situation where you're dealing with a lot of their shit is based on collective power. So niggas just default to turning into a hoe. Talking about I'm just gonna fuck your bitch because I'm a pretty nigga. I'm a beautiful nigga, just like a hoe. Y'all start being concubines, and that's fine. But in the grand scheme of things, nigga, we all turn 40, hopefully. And the older you get, the less that game works. Especially with other races of women. This is why they even starting to call these niggas YNs and because that's a certain age range. Just like bitches get the fuck and play that game for a certain age range, it's the same way with dudes. Yes, if you live like a hoe, there is a wall. Now, men can delay that shit depending on how men take care of themselves. But if you live the life of a concubine, there is a wall. And people, and by the way, the niggas that I'm talking about, their first thought be like, man, this nigga just mad because he don't get no hoes, so he just hating on me. Yeah, that's the same thing that bitches say. The same thoughts. They hating on me because I'm a bad bitch and they're jealous. Thoughts of a bitch. Did you know you can put a Windows operating system on a Mac computer? You niggas are Windows fucking Vista on a goddamn Mac. That's you niggas. You niggas are operating with the wrong fucking not the wrong software. You got a whole different operating system encased in a fucking computer. And these niggas are never the deal with. Because these niggas, first thing they want to do is fuck your bitch where they put their penis. And regardless how insecure other races are, regardless of how other races of men get insecure and shit like that, at the end of the day, you're in a unique ecosystem where you can run those plays. You niggas go to, like Marty is talking, out of the country doing that shit, like for real. You go to certain countries like, Brazil and shit like that, for real, and you find out how whitewashed some of these motherfuckers really are. You niggas start crashing out because you don't know how to handle it. You start acting like a female, literally. Colorism, because you ain't never seen that for real. I got tatted up, I'm a pretty nigga. Why did she not like me with this lame ass white boy? This surf looking ass white boy, what is going on? That shit works in the United States. You know, for real. And so my point is, because I want to talk about Jeff the Red Pill person. My point is, I've always said this, the red pill is 360 degrees. And so ultimately, a lot of these niggas that like to be naysayers, these niggas, the reason why I don't really sweat them for real is because at the end of the day, these niggas don't build. They don't. And that's like one of the biggest Achilles heels with black men, is black men are very individualistic minded, because that allows them not to really worry about building as a collective group. And women will be like, oh, see, that's what I'm talking about. Bitch, fuck you. The reality of the situation is most of y'all are not worthy of being built for, which is why y'all can't go and get nobody to do shit for you anywhere else. And at best, you all gotta build a nigga, build somebody up. So get the fuck out of here with that, because women want men to just build for them, but they don't want to submit to shit. So bitch, fuck you and die. For any chick that want to listen to this ain't about that. This is about men getting into really learning the leverage points that these women cannot defend. We know other races are not giving them shit like that. So it's not like the bar is that fucking high. You only got to get the bar high enough to demonstrate other races of women are willing to deal with it. Because the truth is, niggas talk about passport broing and bringing women back. You're gonna have to be able to provide a social environment for these women. You cannot put them up in some kind of fucking, you know, Rapunzel castle and shit. They're gonna want to interact with other women. And the problem is, if they interact with other women, and these women have fundamental hatred or distaste for them because you know, of racial politics, then I don't know what you think you about to do with that. I really don't. I don't know how you think you about to make that work, because ultimately they will socialize these women. They will socialize these women and convert them over time. Like, you're not going to be able to have them around your family unless you know your family, unless you can trust your family, which most of y'all can't. You're not like, and see, these are things, again, these require building infrastructure networks, pipelines and stuff like that. And I'm not acting like I'm immune to this shit. You know, I'm not acting like, you know, I'm just talking down to you. I need to do better when it comes to certain things. Absolutely. But a lot of these naysayer niggas, they ain't doing shit. In fact, most of them don't got shit to talk about unless they're talking, you know, anti what we're saying. We're the ones that set the tone. We're the ones that set the trend as far as what gets talked about in this shit. Y'all just be coming up in this bitch talking, like trying to throw your 2 cents in like a fucking kid. Like, straight up. These niggas, this is why these niggas don't even know shit about, they don't know shit. Like, you ask them, okay, who do you listen to? These motherfuckers can't even mention Obsidian. They don't know. They just know Myron and fucking Andrew Tate. Let me get this straight. If you only know Myron and Andrew Tate, please kindly shut the fuck up talking to me. If the only people you can name is Myron and Andrew Tate, then shut the fuck up talking to me. Because what that means is you basically came to this shit on some fucking shorts and then shorts. There's a reason these niggas never mention Poor Man Podcast. They never mention Charles Rowe. Hell, they don't never mention Darius, Mick M. They don't mention Jada Black, because these motherfuckers will cook your ass in a slow crock pot. I'll cook you, but these niggas got the clout and all of that to go with it. They don't know nobody. They just know Myron and to keep it all the way real with Andrew, you know, Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate said you need to self-improve. Andrew Tate is essentially like a you know, Andrew Tate legit, well, he don't need to come up with that. Andrew Tate could literally, what's that dude that did the Tae Bo workout? We know the dude that did the 20-minute thing. He's Alphabet. You know, the dude that was in P90X, not the white dude, but the black dude. Like, Andrew as a fighting, he could do that. Obviously, that's not worth the money. He could legit probably run that play, though. He really could. It's just probably not worth it for him to do that. But, where he is now. But my thing is, he basically is like a drill sergeant. Get your shit together. The problem is, Andrew Tate, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again, they don't like you deserve to get everything you can get in this world if you put yourself in position to get it. Don't serve nobody. You ain't supposed to serve no bitch. A bitch is supposed to serve you if you're in the position. That's essentially what Andrew Tate really says. Stop being a loser and put on some weights and get your ass in the gym. Make yourself. I mean, so this idea. Same thing with Myron is literally fit, a fresh and fit. But somehow the red pill is synonymous with being lazy. That is nobody. Who the fuck promotes that shit? Where's the fat fuck red pill content creator that has over 5,000 subs? The person that's asking my little Yachty, get rid of that motherfucker. Because he's trying to be a cute racist. Ban him. Save him! Save that man! Save him from the keyboard. Where's the fact? Like, seriously. You don't see it. You don't see it. Now, you do see a whole bunch of ugly ass bitches in the pink pill section, or bitches that won't show their face, but what you look like is your greatest value. I love that. Yeah, I need that. Sitting in the Paradise. I need that from Dune. Shout out to Timothée Chalamet, even though he be flirting with the zesty shit sometimes, man. It's like, dude, stop it. I didn't realize he was in Interstellar. I love some of these actors. You go back and what they used to do. I didn't know Haley Steinfeld did music. What is Progress talking about? Nigga, what are you talking about? The oldest. First of all, a lot of the red pill guys are not even fucking millennials. They're Xers. A lot of the big guys. Like Andrew Tate is my age. Rollo Tomasi is like already like in his late 40s. Corey Holcomb's not red pill, but he's adjacent to content. The preacher, he's 50. Serena She's not red pill, but he used to speak on this game shit. He's like 49. What the fuck are you talking about? When you keep saying, I want to know how it's going to progress. My thing is, so I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt because I don't know what context you're talking about, but I'm going to say this. You're in my comment section. You're in my chat. Do you not understand that? Like, that's the first thing I want to establish. You're in my chat. All the YouTube that exists, YouTube is a fucking ocean. Edward Anderson is live. I don't tag my shit. Ooh, what the fuck? No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. I don't tag my shit. And I do that on purpose. I tag my uploads, but I don't tag this shit. So it's not easy for you to find it. Because I know YouTube don't promote my shit like they should. I don't hate on that. It is what it is, but I know they don't. So it'd be like, how the fuck do you niggas find my shit? So my thing is, you're in my chat. And you're asking this, oh man, we're going to see in 5 years of progression where they're at. Nigga, what the fuck are you doing? Like, once upon a time, red pill didn't exist. So I ask, like, seriously, serious question. What are you doing? When I say you, I'm talking about like whatever group, whatever situation you claim. I'm just a real black man. Okay, what are real black men doing? Like niggas act like red pill is like elected officials and shit. Like we're a political party. Nigga, what the fuck are you doing? Me personally, I work for a nonprofit to help people get into homes. I've talked about it before. And by the way, I first found that place from a black woman that I was getting a loan. Well, not a loan from her, but she was a loan officer. Like, I can't stand fucking naysayers just to be naysayers. Okay, fine and perfect. I'm just saying the way you frame that shit, it's like, what are people going to be doing? You know, I'm in the flow talking about naysaying. And it's like, that's the thing. It's like, and what happens is the quote unquote red pill is like a distraction. So anyway, no, I get what he like. Yeah, and that's another thing. When we say building, people got to get it specific, because that another thing. I'm glad you said that. And again, imperfect is not in on trial here. But my thing is, when people say building, you need to demonstrate you know what that means, because most black people don't know what that means, or at least you know what you mean when you say that. Like, I don't like when I say like honestly, there should be a poll when you say black men need to build. What does that mean to you? Like, I swear black people should write a paragraph or like 3 sentences. Tell me what building means to you. Because when we say building, what does that mean? Can you even identify other groups and them building? Are you talking about commercial real estate and small businesses in a retail plaza? Are you talking about working with the youth? Are you talking about like what are we talking? Because that can mean, that is so broad. And that's what I mean by ambiguity. Like, the issue I really have in this space is a lot of people don't add information. They just like to piggyback on what people are saying. And it really shows that if people don't say it, that's how you know who the followers and who the quote unquote like leaders are. And so anyway, talking about Jeff, because that's what I was originally going to talk about. I want to be clear. And you know, BJ's had a conversation. BJ's put out there like what he thinks, and I get what he's saying, and I'm not gonna repeat it because I don't want people to say that's what he's saying, because that's not what he's saying. So let me say it this way. I've talked about this when it comes to Media Man. I've talked about this when it comes to Obie Allen. I've talked about this when it comes to a lot of people. You know, we have gotten behind people when it comes to like rail gunning people over and over and over again. And that's going to happen anyway in this thing, because people are going to get views off of his commentary. But, and that's part of the game. But there's a reason why I said watch him and not necessarily get behind him. Because ultimately, it ain't like he need our help like that anyway. I mean, he's going place to place. People are inviting him, whatever. He's going to get the views. He's going to get the exposure just off of what he's doing. But really pay attention to what he's saying. Pay attention to how he's saying it. And one thing that I said with BGS is I said worst case scenario, you know, he's you know, worst case scenario, let's say he switches up. Worst case scenario, let's say he switches up. Let's say he you know, this, and here's the thing, this was a fear that Kevin Samuels was going to do, right? And everybody used to get mad, right? So I want to say that because, and other people have low key, that's why they were really going hard at him, right? Yeah, you are an imperfect IQ. Like, I comment on what people say. This ain't personal. So, I mean, I saw that and I commented, and you said chill, and let's see a couple more comments, and I'll fall back. So it's cool. And I appreciate that. Wow, that's a long time, man. I appreciate that, following my bullshit. But yeah, that was a concern with Kevin, and that's probably how I want to frame this, because what I don't want to do is people try to say, oh, people try to sit here and try to say somebody is saying this and saying that, and they try to tag that. So I'm going to comment it that way. When Kevin came up, that was a concern, right? Remember when he talked to Nicki Minaj and said Nicki Minaj was like a 9? Even though I could argue that it's a lot of Negroes that thought Nicki Minaj was a 9, like when she first came out. I remember how I was introduced to her. I'm gonna have her baby and blah, 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 blah. So let's not act like there's not certain niggas that really be believing that. But it was out, and that's probably, I'm gonna do an upload with this, and that's probably how I'm gonna frame it, because that was already established where everybody was saying that about Kevin and all of that. And that was always the thing around Kevin. Is he gonna, as he was rising, going on Future stuff, all that, is he gonna switch up? Is he gonna switch? They was waiting for the switch. A lot of people wanted to switch so they could say, I told you so. So this is not like this is not a unique thing. So you get behind people and then they switch up on you. Media people complain about this with Media Man. People complain about this about Mediocre. Some people have complained about this when it comes to Tariq. This is not an uncommon thing, right? People have complained about this when it comes to women. So my thing is, so looking back on those situations, once you put something out here, it can't be really taken back. So once you start, if you start talking about paternity fraud, like when he said that paternity fraud, there's states that in cities that I still need to look up, they have it banned to do paternity fraud unless you get the woman's permission. Because I'm gonna keep it real, you don't need to be having kids in those cities. Any city or any state that has that person needs to be, anybody that passed that, I don't care what else they did, I don't care if they're pushing reparations, they need to be primary. They need to be primary. They need to be primary. Like, I'm dead ass. Like, if it's a Democrat, any Democrat, is it a male or female? They need to be primary, and another woman and another person put in there that is anti that. They need to lose their job. I don't care if you flip a Democratic seat into Republican by priming it. They need to lose their job. It needs to be clear that they will lose their job. But I don't like, I mean, I'm not here to judge that. I'm not here to judge that. I'm telling you, you know, just like how you know, like a lot of these niggas be thirsting over these chicks with BBLs. I'm not here to rate her. At the end of the day, though, I'm just saying, you know, just like I know that there's certain women, men that at one point thought she was a 9. Trina used to be attractive. I mean, she ain't ugly now, but she used to be attractive. So, I mean, people want to act like Kevin just jumped out the window with that shit. No, he didn't. And my point is, though, the point of that is that Kevin, even at his apex, was always being questioned on that. So it's not new. My thing, and it was questioned even from the beginning. My thing is, when it comes to this dude, is ultimately the paternity fraud thing is not out there like that. It needs to be pushed. So if he's doing that, that's good. The things that he's saying cannot be unsaid once they're said. So if he switches up on things that he said, then yeah, he's going to get a different reaction. Here's the other thing to keep in mind, to watch out for. If you put him on panels and people try to legitimize a panel, like let's say he's on Piers Morgan or he's on a conference where they have a sit down. If you put him in these situations and he's there, but he's not saying anything, so do you try to legitimize the conversation because he's there? So you put him there in front of women, and women are just saying a whole bunch of bullshit, but because he's there, people, that's not what's gonna happen. And another thing that was said was that he's designed to deal with these 9-year-olds. Okay, he can deal with these 9-year-olds, but I said the same thing that I said before. I said on BZ, I'm gonna say it now. The reality is, at the end of the day, the red pill is not anti-self-improvement. The red pill is, even MGTOW is about redirecting the energy you would apply to women and applying it inward. A lot of dudes just don't see the value in it. There's absolutely value in self-improvement and putting yourself together without not necessarily pursuing women. Women should definitely not be the main reason you're keeping yourself healthy and happy and stuff like that. White boys have an entitlement symptom, so that's a different conversation with that. But as far as black men, obviously there's a world outside the market you're dealing with now. And again, so my point is, when I say, okay, even if he's whatever, the reality is, it's not even about him. Because I don't believe you should get behind any one person anyway. I really don't. Dr. Tiasan Johnson ain't got all the answers either. It's just Dr. Tiasan Johnson is going to be a very good policy person. You see what the Tea Party is doing with Donald Trump. They having issues. No thing is one person. And that was true with Kevin. Because Kevin didn't represent all black men. Kevin represented a certain sector of black men. And he never acted like he did represent all black men. And I don't expect this dude to put other people on either. But what he does do is he legitimizes certain talking points that we said, and now you can't play. I've said this before all the time. You know, you can't say he ain't with a black woman. You can't say it's not a certified person. You know the goofy shit they used to always say, Kendra G, and then we can't say that. I'm gonna keep it real. I definitely don't mind him working with the women. Like the Black Female Accountability Department. I think he can be their greatest champion. So that's how I'm looking at it. I'm not looking at Jeff the individual. I'm looking at what's being said. And I'm not about to sit here saying, you know, go subscribe. I haven't listened to him long enough, and I do agree with BGS. You got to see what he does with his fetus to the fire first. And ultimately, it's not about one person. It's never going to be one person you say you should do that. Because at the end of the day, our talking point, what we say is solid. We don't need somebody that, you're not going to be able to steer people. And this idea of like 9-year-olds and stuff like that, like at the end of the day, you're going to have to give them something to do. Regardless of what he says, even if people try to sneak self-improvement, you can sneak that in there all day, every day. You still, as SWP has said, you got to provide these people with gainful employment. Like if you self-improve off a cliff, it don't matter. If women and even with the environment and these women quote unquote changing, the reality is that's not gonna help. The thing is, the women of today ain't got nothing to do with the women that are the females or girls that are counterpart to 9-year-old boys. So the environment changing today ain't got nothing to do with them. Those are alphas, I believe, or late Z's. That ain't got nothing to do with them. So it don't matter. So at the end of the day, you know, it don't matter. Because truth be told, look, I like Fugazi, but Fugazi was in it for the money. And you got dudes like Jada Black and Darius. This don't change nothing when it comes to them. We still got people. So ultimately, it was the same. I'm saying the same thing with him that I said with Kevin. It wasn't about Kevin. It was about getting the information out there the way these women can't deny it. And with Kevin, they could be like, you ain't currently married. You ain't certified. All this bullshit. You can't say that with him. And so when he switches up, that'll be an opportunity for us to be very clear on this is why we disagree with this. Anyway, let me answer your questions before I get out of here. It would, Landon. And by the way, James, I still got your stuff. I'm sorry it's taking a minute for me to deal with it. I mean, I don't even, honestly, paternity fraud, the cheating don't even matter. Because it's so beyond that at that point. Like, paternity fraud is so much worse than cheating. Because cheating is one thing if your kids are yours. And it's bad, but your kids, like, that's stealing time, man. If you don't catch that early, like, if you wait till you in your 50s and your kids got kids and you find out they not your kids, that's a medical thing. It's so much worse than that. It's almost equivalent to like grabbing a chick's butt versus actually, taking it. It's almost like it's so much worse than just cheating. I don't care. Like, dudes don't care about no cheating when it comes to that. That's a different level of conversation at that point. Especially when dudes are having kids. Dudes are having kids in their 30s. They're not having kids young. They're having kids at an age that you ain't got a whole bunch of times at bat to be doing that like that. And so yeah, if he can help that kid come out there, I'm all And so that's the thing. It's just like when BGS talks about look for the policy, not the politician. That's kind of the same thing with him. So far, so good. And again, so far, so good. But ultimately, it's like, nigga, people gonna be watching you, man. People be breaking your stuff down. And I trust people like Zed. I trust people like Charles, Rowe. I'm sure Fawcett Media will get in there. Shout out to him. Mediocre. This is a guy that's tailor made for mediocre tutorial reviews. And truth be told, that'll give him an excuse to be able to kind of go more this way and not be attacked. Poor Man has been covering Piers Morgan. So these stuff, and a lot of these guys are already married. Like Chiz is married. I believe Poor Man's married. Chiz and Poor Man are not FBA, but that's fine. Charles, I don't know if Charles is married. You got people, I'm sure that Messi will, like, so it's gonna get stuff out there and trip these chicks up. And you know these chicks are gonna get mad. They're gonna look for an angle. They're gonna look for an angle because they always do. So eventually they will start going after him. I'm sure he's gonna cover, I'm sure Dennis is gonna cover him. A lot of people, I think even, fuck Boyce Watkins, but I even think Boyce Watkins will cover him. And honestly, I think this dude can go on Clubhouse too and deal with these chicks on Clubhouse. You look at the mission and how somebody lines up in that. And the idea is really this is why you have to railgun other people. And it's not just about social media. We have to learn how to get past just social media and start doing an online, offline thing. And be serious about infrastructure building, networks and stuff like that. And this is a guy that you all can share and introduce people to this information, and then like introduce like a BGS or somebody. Don't share me. I am not a nigga to be sharing. My stuff is not tailor-made to be sharing to other people. There's a lot of people that are better to share than me. BGS, Dr. Tiasan, this is a guy that's definitely potentially good to be sharing as well. Shout out to J-Lock with the $5. Did you see that video on black women getting gained up on by 3 immigrants? No, I didn't see that. I have heard about the situation of a woman being stabbed, black woman being stabbed by another black woman. What did I tell you? Women are most in danger from black. And that's how I look at it. Just like how I start looking at policy more, pushing policy. That's how you deal with that. Dudes are looking and this stuff is exactly. Dudes need to look to networking with people and finding like-minded people. That is on the ground. Finding like-minded people. And I'm gonna keep it real. This guy is really, really, really a good guy he's a good device to test people and how they feel about this type of information without them getting triggered. Thanks for that, because it was starting to a point that I was very uncomfortable. I'm staring at Paraguay, but the treatment drill is different on another level. I mean, my thing is Brazil, Brazil has a lot of people, but that Rio culture is really on some escort shit. He did say that to flatter her. And a lot of y'all dudes want to get in a dogma, or dudes want to find a way to get cheap and easy views. The hate is real. And watch, you're going to see the same niggas. You're going to see the same niggas talk shit about him. I wouldn't be surprised if he blows up, if Jason Black and all them, they going to be the same shit. And I'm going to tell you, I'm telling you, unless he say something stupid, because he ain't talking about the high value man thing. If you niggas come and y'all get jealous again, y'all gonna be called out. If y'all get jealous again, it's gonna be funny. Because now you can't, now y'all ain't gonna be able to hide that that's really what it is. Oh man, he's stealing our talking points, nigga. Y'all not gonna be able to play that game. Y'all, that play works once. I would love to see him on not Kevin Samuels, Corey Holcomb too. Yeah, but the thing is, individual status does not trump group status. It doesn't. Power is more potent in a collective because you're aggregating resources, and that's what black men try to. Because women, they think they can find, like, for real, especially if you're on code. So, well, I mean, the thing is, dudes are out here selling like this dream idea when it comes to Brazil, and people need to tell the whole truth. And it's not just Brazil. It's again, there is no one size fits all solution, man. There's not. But in a lot of the, yeah, 5 years, the oldest millennials are turning 50. He said Billy Blanks. Andrew Tate just dropped the video. He got set up and got the paperwork for it. Well, I mean, shit, that don't mean shit. I mean, I want to see. I mean, let me know when he got the paperwork. Anyone who came in from listening, Fresh and Fit or some who wears short shorts, yeah. He said you cooked the hell out of FD. I mean, it ain't even about cooking. I'm gonna tell you this. Hopefully, this dude can be a counter to FD, because again, FD was saying all of our points were incorrect. This is proof that it's not. This is he's basically validating all of our talking points. So if you try to switch up, it don't matter, because again, we don't have these talking points because it's just dogma. This is what actually needs to happen. This isn't like what we're talking about. Ed, what kind of credit you talking about? I want to know. Pastor Bro say, I mean, it's not. It's the whole. I'm talking about the whole group. I'm not talking about one person when I say that. I'm talking about everybody. I'm not talking about one person. Because, I mean, you really don't. I mean, so let me ask you this. Who is really shitting on Brazil that's actually a passport bro? Marty's like the only one. I'm not saying these guys aren't good, but Marty's like the only one that's telling you the whole truth about Brazil. So y'all guessing. I'm talking about the whole group. You know me. If it was a certain person, I'd just say it. Yes, Paul Pierce is the GOAT. And now you got a certified. And by the way, shout out to Kosher Clinician, who's also a certified therapist. I'm sure Kosher Clinician is going to have fun covering him too. I actually got an old Kosher Clinician an interview. But yeah, I've met Brazilian women, but at the end of the day, I mean, you have a lot of options. It's just dudes got to have clarity, and women do not want men with clarity, because men with clarity, they have a much worse ability to fuck over. And by the way, appreciate DS. I don't want to put your government name out there. DS for the $10 cash app. Much appreciated, dude. It is much appreciated. I don't even know who Jeff St. James is. I think I've seen a couple of his videos, but no, he's not in my head when I'm talking. I'm not talking about an individual person. By the way, kudos to Austin. His channel is still doing decent. Austin's got some really good thumbnails, by the way, too. If you can deal with black women, white women are nothing. White women are nothing if you can deal with black women. Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm not here to tell you Brazil is bad, but dudes got to know what they're dealing with, eyes wide open, man. They got to know what I mean, honestly, there's even the experience Austin had. There's value in that. But that a lot of black like that that's a honestly that's a big issue. Black men are not going like really there should be a whole infrastructure of connections and networks for black men down there. Like real talk that you can plug into. I don't know who Jeff St. James is. So y'all throwing names out there. Because a lot of they don't want these young dudes traveling because they want to trick on these young dudes here. Like it's about leverage. Men have this thing where men are like afraid to have leverage over women. You should have maximum leverage. That is black men. They think leverage is immoral. Availability is like the only thing they're leading on. If you want them to change, it's gonna come off. Yeah, the Ask a Brother podcast. It's gonna be so many black women that's gonna be not coming out the game that do it's a massive influx of target practice. Or these young dudes are gonna be like young females. They're gonna be getting easy money off these women. And I'm with BGS. Get your money. Just don't get emotionally caught up. Because some of these females, like, they're sexually experienced and they gonna want to control you. And you catching Erykah Badu, you gonna be fucked. That's what I'm saying. Do not get emotionally caught up. You do not want to be like Cheyenne, like Cheyenne brought whatever this magical nigga she's talking about. 33-year-old getting caught up on a 14-year-old nigga. What the fuck? That's I'm gonna start calling that Usher syndrome. You do not want to develop Usher syndrome. Niggas out here losing the plot. Oh, love her. Nigga, how can you? And I've seen that, man. I've seen that. You do not want to catch Usher syndrome. I like the new dude, but like Ronald Reagan, trust but verify. He's a male therapist that says being healed being healed comes with outcomes to match. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, you know, he's already talked to black women, so he's showing he's not scared of black women in the fucking, you know, single mother network. So that's one thing. Talking to white people. I gotta watch that interview with Pearl, but that's gonna be another interview. Because Pearl's willing to go a lot harder than he is. And another thing is, what are niggas really gonna say? Oh man, he's a black man, he married. See, they can't say that, pull that same bullshit they pull with Pearl, trying to attack the whole space. So that finally ends that. SBE, he's the SBE therapist. SBE, like, whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, Russell Wilson is a physical alpha. He's a quarterback, so technically he's an alpha in his field, in a field that at the highest level. He's an economic alpha. You know, so I mean, like I said, the only difference between Sierra and again, you know, even Kim Kardashian, no kids. Like, she really fucked up with that kid shit. She really did. Oh, she is engaged in LGBT. She absolutely is engaged in LGBT activity. No. Quarterbacks are alphas. Quarterbacks are alphas in football because they're franchise players. He's won a Super Bowl. I don't know what you're talking about, man. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's still married to Sierra. I mean, I'm just saying, on paper, I mean, you know. I'm not saying I would do it, but we got to keep it real on what that shit is. He upgraded from his last wife. The only real knock people really got on him is the fact Ciara got a kid with Future. That's really it. Yeah, I heard what he said, and I don't necessarily disagree with what he said. But that's the culture right now. Yeah, you're right. It is a gynocracy pass. And I personally think he always wanted to deal with Ciara anyway, too. It's like that, too. But anyway, y'all, it's been a great conversation. Be looking out for these videos, these uploads and everything. I am going to start trying to do a panel at least once a week. And with that being said, this is Edward signing off. Appreciate the cash out as always. Yeah, I get it. She is an industry ranter, but at that level, it's really more about image and optics. At that level, when it comes to brand deals, not what you think, but brand deals. Peace.